Hello, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started with a love reading for you. And just so you know, I am recording this at the exact moment we have a full moon in Leo. So this could be about endings. Leo is about our love life. It's about, our children. It's about our creativity. But it's about the heart. It's about love. Okay. So be mindful about not opening your heart to love because that's where we end up having heart attacks. Okay. Um, so we have first card out, bond. A love bond grows stronger over time. What do we have for the full moon in Leo spirit for their love life? Okay, what do we got? Let go. Sometimes it's best to let go and let the universe work things out in divine timing. So letting go of a bond, letting go of, you know, how you think things should be in this, relationship, because it should be a happy, healthy, loving bond. Okay. Shouldn't have to be something where it makes you feel crazy. You're constantly, dancing around for love. So let go and let love find you because love conquers all. And you have to get to a point of being willing to let go, being willing to let go. You can't fake it. It's like, fine, it's over. And actually mean it. Actually mean it. And when you're willing to let go of that relationship, that's when that person recognizes the bond that the two of you have. They recognize how much love they truly feel for you. It's like if you let something go, what is that saying? If you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never meant to be. Because the connection will bring the two of you guys back together. The amount of love that the two of you guys have. And there might be things that you have to let go of in order for this relationship to come together, for this relationship to flourish like that flower there, right? And maybe there was something, that was holding another person back from really truly being able to recognize you. And it took you stepping aside and saying, no more. No more. If you can't recognize the bond that the two of you, the two of us have, then I have no choice but to let go. And if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, great, because either way, it's setting me up for something better in the future. It's setting me up for my one true love. And so you're going to have to be in that place of willing to sacrifice. And I think that that's one of the hardest things out of all the readings I've done. And I've done so many readings. I've been doing readings now for almost 8 years. Okay. 8 years worth of readings, uh, like as a business, not before. Right. And so the one thing that I've always seen is people not willing to truly let go. They're let, they start to let go and then the other person doesn't call them. So for fear of being forgotten, they reach out. For fear of being forgotten, they, hey, remember me? Like, but if there's no, if the other person that you're trying to hold accountable, isn't the one reaching out, I would not be running back in. You have to fully let go, fully let go and start looking at a world of options for you because there's a whole world waiting for you to show up and would be highly disappointed if you didn't. You haven't met every soul that's going to cherish you. You haven't met every person that's going to love you. You haven't met them. Because why? Because for some of you, you still have not let go of a connection that is no good for you. And you're going to have to heal from that connection. You're going to have to heal from that connection. Whether the two of you guys come back together or not, you cannot fake it. You can't go, okay, well, I'll pretend to let go. And then the universe will send them back in. No, 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 no. You have to fully let go and let God. Let go and let God. Um, So let's find out. Let's get some cards on this. Okay, so Spirit, what is this recognition? The divine will help you recognize signs and miracles. It's almost like, letting go of a codependency on this relationship. Like I said, they don't reach out for me. Oh, I was thinking about you. Yeah, you were thinking because they haven't even reached out to you, right? Fear of being forgotten. So it's as addictions are affecting your romantic life. And there could be an addiction, some of these people need to recognize their own addictions. It could be addictions to the past. It could be addictions to money. It could be addictions to what other people think. It could be addictions to drugs, sex, alcohol, or just obsessing over a relationship. And maybe for some of you, you've obsessed so much about being in a relationship. Oh, well, I have to be in a relationship. No, you fucking don't. It's not a make it or break it. You're not going to die if you're not in a relationship. Bullshit. It's not like breathing, you know. For some of you, it's like, you got to be careful of that, because that codependency will be the thing that actually keeps you from a real, true love connection. A real, true love connection, a real, true, bond. But it's going to take you letting go and recognizing that this other relationship that you have been so codependent on, it's unhealthy attachment. Yeah. So look at that bottom of the deck. It's time to disconnect from the world. So for some of you, you had to really, truly disconnect from this situation. Show me the bond. Show me the bond, spirit. Yeah. Release your ex. They're just confirming what I'm saying. You have to totally disconnect. And maybe this person, they couldn't truly bond with you because they were still, blaming their ex. They were still, maybe even in hopes that them and their ex could get back together. So, they really never truly allowed this bond to fully come together. And you felt that disconnect. You felt that disconnect because they were always fighting with you. They were always looking for reasons to fuck with you. They were always, it's like they couldn't see you and the efforts that you were putting into this relationship. And so finally, you had no choice but to let go. You had no choice but to say, enough is enough. Like, I love you, but I can love you from afar. I can love you from a distance. As much as I feel this bond between the two of us, if you can't see that, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go. I'm going to let this go because you don't recognize me. You can't see me. You think that I'm your enemy, but really I'm your ally. I'm not working against you. I'm actually working with you. But because you're so used to having somebody else who is so toxic in your life that you have those blinders on and you can't see me. So I have to let you go. And it's usually when you let that go and you give them that distance that all of a sudden they're like, holy shit. Oh man, while I was, searching through rocks, I fucking passed up a diamond. I passed up someone that I actually was like, I never truly understood the bond that the two of us had until this individual walked away from me, until they released me. Isn't that the way it is? Isn't that so shitty? It's like, why do we always have to play games when it comes to our love relationships? It's like we act like children. But what are we also teaching our children? What is it that you're teaching your children by staying in a relationship like this? You're teaching your children that that is what love consists of. Love, yes, love should be unconditional, but that doesn't mean unconditional abuse in order to have that type of love. No, I can unconditionally love you from afar. I can let you go and still love you. I might be a little frustrated. I think it's not, and angry, but it's more because I'm hurt, right? It's because you're hurt. And because you truly had their best interest at heart, but they couldn't see that because they were so still, because they hadn't done the healing, that they're still bringing up the past. Yeah, so you had to go through the separation because they couldn't separate themselves from their past stories in order to see you for who you were, because they had those blinders on. So you had to separate. You had to let go. You had to let go. Sometimes it's best to let go and let the universe work things out in divine timing. You have to let go of this connection. You have to. Connection sits right underneath the letting go. And you're recognizing that. As much as you love this person, I love myself more. I love myself more. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stay optimistic because, there's got to be more to this love thing that I'm giving it credit for. And that's when I walked away from my ex-husband. I had 3 kids with him, 9 years married, always wanted a family. I was adopted. I wanted these kids because I always wanted something that I could never have. And it was a It was an attachment, an unhealthy attachment style that I had because of the abandonment that I had gone through. But once I recognized that pattern in myself, I was like, you know what? I love you enough to let you go, because if we can treat each other the way that we do and trigger each other the way that we do, then this is so freaking unhealthy. As much as we are bonded together by the children, like we saw earlier at the bottom of the deck, for some of you, maybe you did have kids with them. For some of you, maybe you have known them since childhood. But you have to be willing to stay optimistic and give it up to the universe, give it up to spirit, give it up to God, give it up to whatever higher power it is that you believe in, and be willing to free yourself from these unhealthy patterns of behaviors when it comes to your relationships. It's time to take back control of your life. It's time for you to stop allowing somebody else to have that power and control over you. It's time to let that go. Because what we're coming into is something so much more beautiful, and you're going to have to trust in the divine. This situation is calling for you to have faith. So that stands over the top of the letting go, let go and let God. And it could take time. And some people will say, oh, well, if they're not back and they don't call me within the next 3 months, you're not in control of time. So in 3 months, if they're not still fully healed, you're going to end up right back where you were if they did come in. The time is irrelevant. Time is a human construct. I tell you that I will call you tomorrow for your appointment at 10 a.m. It may be 10:02. It may be 9:53. Who fucking knows? Time is a human construct. It may not be exactly, but you just have to trust that whatever time passes, and that's not holding yourself back from actually experiencing something new by opening yourself up to dating other people. You don't sit around and fucking wait for this other person. Doesn't mean that you go jump into bed either with someone else or try to replace them. Because at the end of the day, if there's a lot of love between the two of you, you're not even going to be able to do that. You're not even going to be able to. So the best thing to do is go out and work on you. Work on why it is that you allowed this kind of behavior in your relationship in the first place. Is it a mommy issue? Is it a daddy issue? Is it an abandonment issue? Is it an unhealthy attachment style that you have? What is it that you have? And maybe go work that out with a therapist or someone like me, a spiritual life coach, psychics, astrologers. Like, you have so many people at your fingertips that you could reach out to right now that could actually help you through this. But the first step is actually recognizing. It's almost like AA, right? You got to recognize that you actually have a fucking problem. You have a problem in letting go. You have a problem in trusting. You have trust issues. Trust issues, why? Because of your ex. Trust issues, why? Because of your past. What else do we got, Spirit? What else do we got? Yeah, look at this. Romantic feelings, let go of control issues. Listen, if you really truly love someone, you let them go. You set them free. Don't try to control it. Don't try to say, oh, well, if they're not back in a couple of months, who gives a fuck if they're back in a couple of months? What if this new person, it's a new person and you're trying to control who it is? See, that's the worst thing that we could ever do when we're asking the universe for love, but it has to be this person. No, you need to give a guideline on the type of person. If you're wanting to adventure, you're not wanting a couch potato. Those are the types of things that you can ask the universe for. I want somebody who is adventurous. I want somebody who is, kind and generous. I want somebody who is loving and compassionate. I want somebody who can be serious. I want somebody who is, fun loving and good with children. I want somebody who, is artistic and creative. But if you're saying it has to be, you're trying to put a name on it, on who it has to be, this is where you fuck up, because you're not trusting that the universe actually has your back and knows your style. The universe knows what you want. And sometimes the universe will give you exactly what you want, but it ends up being a big fat fucking lesson. It ends up being a big fat fucking lesson. Why? Because you tried to control it. So what you want to tell the universe is, I want love. I want unconditional love, love without condition. I want somebody who can do for me that I've never experienced, because the universe knows what you need. It knows what you want, but it also knows what you need. And it also knows your type. It knows your style. It's not going to hook you up with somebody who's like, fucking, way out of you. Trust me. And if they do, this person is what you need to learn. So yeah, there's new love coming in. Don't try to control it. Funny enough, you've got love, and it's actually clarifying the love conquers all. New love and love conquers all. A new person will stir your romantic feelings. So either this is a new person or it is the person that you were already connected to in the past. Okay. And you had to let them go so that they could recognize the role that you play in their life. But they couldn't do that while you were standing there. For some of you, maybe you're angry with this person. Maybe you're like, you know what? Absolutely not. Some of you, yes. Some of you are like, after you hear them out, you might be like, actually, okay, I can totally understand that. I can forgive. I'm not going to forget because if you ever do that again, just know what I'm capable of. So don't make a fool of me, right? What do we got with this connection? What do we got with the connection, Spirit? Yeah. So, okay, we've got heart to heart conversation. Honestly, discuss your feelings with one another and make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps that you're guided to take. So, your connection is eternal and unbreakable. Okay. So, if this is the past person, because I do see that with the release your ex and the bond and the codependency here, this is about them wanting to come back in and have a heart to heart conversation, them wanting to come back in and make an effort towards this connection. And why? Because they finally recognize it took you actually stepping aside and loving yourself more, and not trying to control this other person or make them fit the mold so that you can stay in the relationship. It just didn't work for you. And so you were willing to say, you know what? I love myself more. And so now they want to come back in and they want to have this heart to heart conversation. And, but you guys, listen, we're calling it a soulmate. Our prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring the two of us together. And so for some of you, this is, you sent loving, energy towards this individual, and you said, if it's meant to be, it will be, and if it's not meant to be, someone else will take that space, and I am going to trust that if I choose, behind whatever door number 2 is, I'm going to trust that the universe has my back. I'm going to trust this, because regardless of whether it's supposed to be this person or the universe is preparing me for the next person, I know that the universe has my back. I know that if I'm supposed to experience love, that the universe isn't going to leave me hanging. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Hopefully, you guys heard that. So, prepare for what is to come. I want to get a relationship message, Spirit. Please show me a relationship for the full moon in Leo. Full moon in Leo. So for some of you, you really are having to let go and let God. Yeah, you're at a fork in the road. The relationship message is, number 13. 13 is death. So yes, there was a letting go. You like chose option B. You chose option B when it came to this fork in the road. And, yeah, it sucked, but you learned a lot of lessons. You understood why you had to let this go. You understood why or you're understanding that right now. And why are we doing that? Yeah, for peace. Because your relationship, your love life should not have to be a struggle. Your love life should not be a struggle. And this also says, if you want to understand the why, schedule a session with me. I would be happy to work through this. Even schedule the what the fuck is going on reading. It's a 30-minute session, and we can get to the bottom of this situation so that we can get you on the right path. Also, if you've gotten this far, please like this video. Bottom of the deck, here and now. Are we going to go back towards the past? Are we going to do things the way that we've always done in the past? Or are we going to actually hold people accountable in our lives and actually do what's best for us and start closing those doors, start closing, because windows of opportunity will open up for us if we are willing. And like I said, your relationships should not be a stressful point for you. Your relationship should be a place of safety and security and not a place of constant battles. Maybe it's time for you to wake up and ask yourself, are you getting what you need out of your relationships? Are you getting the love that you deserve? Or is somebody trying to control that and hold back? Maybe they're emotionally, manipulative. I get emotional manipulation. And maybe that's what you're used to in relationships. So when they're mad at you, they withhold emotion, and then it drives you crazy because you're like, oh my God, like this really hurts, you know? And but it's their way to control you. And that's what it's saying is like, you have to trust that the right person isn't going to do that to you. So give it up to the universe. And, I know that a lot of you are yearning for love. I know it, but stop being so fucking desperate that you're willing to put up with bullshit in your fucking life in order for you to have somebody by your side. Because I'll be honest with you, I would rather be fucking single than have some fucking dipshit on my side giving me a bunch of fucking hell. Like, there's not enough in the world that gives us shit on a daily fucking basis, and we're dodging landmines that we should have to do that at home. Is it worth it? Because I'm sorry, but having a heart attack or having fucking heart disease because I am not being loved correctly is not worth it just to have some dick by my side. Take that how you will. Anyway, you guys, beautiful love reading today. I feel like these messages definitely are just let it go. Use this full moon energy to write a letter to yourself, to let go, to let God, to give it up to the universe and say, okay, like I deserve love. I am lovable, and I will release anything that is not for my highest good, that keeps me from truly finding love. And I will not control what the universe has in store for me. I will surrender. I will open myself up and allow the universe to bring in whatever connection that they need me to learn. And all I ask is that they bring me peace. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. It does help my channel grow. I love you guys all so very much. Yeah, check me out over on Facebook and Instagram under the Footsteps to Peace. Love you guys all so much, and we will chat again soon. Take care.